the sun is shining, beautiful day on the lake. It's really nice.
Beautiful. And we are live on Facebook. The sun is shining. The weather is sweet. Squeeze is here to move your dancing feet. Squeeze, just want to check to make sure we're firing on all cylinders. Are we live on Facebook? You're muted, brother.
Waved him.
Squeeze, welcome to your show. You're on mute.
Okay, better?
Much better. Are we live on Facebook?
I just, I got confused. I thought earlier before the show started, you were talking to me about keep it like that, the mute button.
I hear you. I got questions to ask you though. Come on, you got to answer them. Number one, are we live on Facebook?
Yes, we are live on Facebook on the Case Handler page. We're live on Facebook on Pollack, Isaac, and Desico. That's PPID. We're live on David Squeeze Annakie. We're live on Link Up Radio. We're live on Jamrock Magazine, BioLive, USA Credit, all of that. We're live.
You beat me to the punch. I was gonna ask you all those questions, but so I guess the only question left to ask, and there's only one, and I see Nelson's face. There's only one question left to ask, Squeeze.
And what's that?
Are you down with PPID?
Come on, you know me. I'm down with PPID. Come on. What kind of a question is that you guys are asking me on a Friday where I say TGIF? Come on, let's get to the show, man. What kind of a question is that? Come on, Adam, you know better than that. Everybody's down with PPID. Don't you notice everybody's calling you the case handler when they get hurt in an accident? Immigration, everybody is hitting up Nelson and Conrad. Come on, Alan is even here, the general. I won't say you shouldn't ask me that question again, but I'll let you take back your show.
I'm gonna ask you that question every day we do this show. The show is called Cruising with the Case Handler. My name is Adam Handler. I'm an attorney. We are Pollack, Isaac, and Desico. We are a full-service law firm here in Manhattan. What does full service means? What does full service mean? It means that we can take care of all your legal needs. You got a legal problem, we got a legal solution. You got a legal question, guess what? We got that legal answer. All you got to do is call our number, 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Immigration, personal injury, real estate, criminal defense, family law. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Guess how much that phone call costs? Not only is it a toll-free number, I don't even think it even matters anymore. Remember toll-free numbers, you can call from a payphone and not have to pay the money, or everything now is toll-free, I guess. Or remember a cell phone, you only had a few minutes, you'd have to watch your minutes, and it was New York calls or long distance calls. That's all by the wayside.
Remember phone cards?
Phone cards.
I don't know to remember the phone cards,
Absolutely. And the general, he probably remembers, the telegraph, right? I mean,
Wireless,
right? Exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, the phone call is free, and not only is the phone call free, the information is free. That's right. It doesn't matter when you call. If you schedule that phone consultation with us, with our firm, Pollack, Isaac, Desico, the phone consultation is free. We will give you free legal advice based on your questions, and then all we ask is, if we can help you, you hire our firm. And you will know right away whether or not we can help you, because we will be brutally honest with you as to whether or not it's something our firm can handle. Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we are not taking your case unless we can help you. We have a no refund policy here at the firm. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but it's not the no refund policy that you're used to from other firms, meaning you hire the firm, they can't do anything for you, and then you don't get your money back. No. Our no refund policy is based on the fact that we don't take your money unless we can take your case and unless we can be successful in your case. Isn't that true, Nelson?
That is correct.
So that's something we're really proud of. Honest lawyers, honest solutions. We're here to help. Please, 844-PPID-LAW. This morning, we have a great show. I'm hearing a little feedback. I don't know. Does anybody else hear that?
There's an echo.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I hear that. Somebody help out here. Anybody? No?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
All right, a little bit better maybe. Listen, I forget what I was saying, but it's a Friday show, off to a little bit of a herky-jerky start. But the maestro's here, the managing partner of the firm, the general's here, the most experienced immigration attorney out there on the airwaves, facts, no doubt about it, and Nelson Madrid, the maverick, the deportation guy, helping you and your family legitimize your status here in the United States. Good morning to you guys. Let's talk some immigration, and then we'll get to personal injury.
Let's jump
Morning.
right into it. Okay.
Morning,
Prior to the show starting, ladies and gentlemen, I heard these attorneys speaking about something to do with vaccine and so forth. And I do believe that I caught the tail end of what they were speaking about, but it was very interesting what I heard. So I would like the attorneys from PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, whether that be the General Alan E.K., Conrad Pollack, Nelson Madrid. Yesterday, while Adam was cruising and Conrad took a shot at him, he fired back on text saying I should take charge of the show. Be careful what you ask for. I just didn't want to be like you, Adam, taking up all the airtime. But now, seeing that's how it's going to go, let me point out who I want to take charge right now. Alan E.K., what were we speaking about, or what were you speaking about with Nelson when the show got, prior to the show starting? Talk to me.
Okay, Nelson, you can join me on that, but basically, there are two vaccines that are very close to being issued to the public, and both of those vaccines have prominent people involved in putting the vaccine out who may be American citizens now or maybe not, but they weren't born here. And so it gives you an idea about the kind of people that we're getting here as immigrants who are now in the forefront of getting the vaccines out. And both companies are very heavily involved with people who were not born here, but who are now either permanent residents or citizens. Nelson, you want to jump in on that?
I mean, that's correct. I think one of the people who was prominent in obviously coming up with the vaccine, I believe is from France, was born in France, eventually immigrated to the United States on some sort of specialty visa, and ultimately legalized his status. But, I think the reason we're mentioning this is these are the people that our administration was trying to keep outside of the United States, and I think it's important to mention because obviously immigrants do contribute in many, many, many different ways. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and again, coincidentally, the two vaccines that are about to be available to the public were founded by people who, as Alan said, are not US born citizens. In fact, they are immigrants who came to the United States with a dream and obviously fulfilled their dream and helped our country.
Okay. And our Trump administration does not advocate for that, but I'm very happy that, this country built upon immigrants is doing extremely well at so many different levels. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here doing what's called Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. It's brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. It's a beautiful Friday on the outside. And, I want to...
If I could just jump in, I want to elaborate a little bit on what we were just talking about. Just to give some specific details. First off, the company that we're talking about is Moderna. Moderna is they're the first company to announce a near 95% success rate with this new COVID-19 vaccine. All right, the company itself was founded by a Lebanese-born gentleman, Noubar Afan, who came to the United States to get his PhD in biochemical engineering at MIT. All right. Since then, he started or co-founded 38 companies, registered more than 100 patents. All right. This is a guy that today would not be, under the Trump administration policies, would not have been able to do all of that because he would be limited by the proposed regulations that the Trump administration just put out, limiting the amount of time people can stay here and study. He'd have to be here for 4 years and no more. He could not finish his studies here, and he would not have been able to do these things. There's one guy, all right? Another one, the company's CEO, Stéphane Bancel. He's a native of France who came to the United States to do graduate studies in chemical engineering at the University of Minnesota. Went on to get his MBA at Harvard's Business School. Another guy, all right? He was undergrad, graduate school. Under the proposed regulations currently out there, proposed by the Trump administration, wouldn't have been able to go to Harvard. He has to finish his 4 years and get out. Right? The firm's chief medical officer, Tal Zaks, an Israeli physician who came to this country to do his postdoctoral studies here. All right. Pfizer's vaccine, similar deal. It was created by 2 Turkish immigrants in Germany. All right. And the list goes on and on and on. The SpaceX aerospace company that flew the first private manned spaceship in partnership with NASA. Who's that? Elon Musk. Where's he from? Anyone? Brooklyn?
Is he Russian?
Where's he from?
Canada.
Mar-a-Lago? Where's he from?
Canada.
He's from South Africa, Elon Musk. All right. So, in fact, here, immigrants or their children have founded 45% of America's Fortune 500 companies, according to a 2019 New American Economy study. That includes founders of Amazon, Apple, and Google. Anybody hear of those companies? And yet Trump has steadily restricted visas for foreign students and professionals as part of his populist and anti-immigration crusade. All right, there you go.
Unbelievable.
What else needs to be said about this administration really than that? Really, what else needs to be said?
FCC.
Under the Biden administration, we can.
I didn't say that. All right, but just to give it a further example, last comment, the number of new foreign students in the United States colleges fell by a whopping 43% this year. 43%. All right. If you just count international students who are physically in the United States, the number fell by 72% this year. All right, all because of the Trump administration anti-immigrant policies. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Under the Biden administration, we can expect the government to be much more welcoming to
Sure.
potential
Now,
immigrants.
actually, just to interrupt one last time, Alan, I saw, I was watching something this morning
Yep.
where it occurred to me, there's some guy on Morning Joe, Scarborough. He wrote a new book about Harry Truman. And he was saying, it's timely because a lot of people have been comparing Joe Biden with Harry Truman. I don't know enough. Actually, you voted for Harry Truman, didn't you? Back in the 40s?
Sure,
He was his campaign manager.
I worked on the campaign, right?
Anyway, guys.
Poor Alan.
Alan, proceed with your updates, Alan, before we get to Adam Handler, who will have a true success story on the personal injury side of the show. We're now talking immigration. Later on, we'll come back. We'll answer your immigration questions in a WhatsApp group. We'll answer your immigration questions on the Facebook pages, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you stay tuned. And remember to follow, Adam Handler and the case handler, follow Pollack, Isaac, and the sequel, PPID, and myself, David Squeezani. Let's get back to you, Alan. I'm giving you 3 minutes to expound there. Take in charge here.
Okay, I want to start off with there's a new naturalization test, which will be for people who file for naturalization after December 1st. The new test will have 128 questions. The present test has 100 questions. Now, on the present test, they've changed some of the questions, and some of the questions are really, really a doozies, like how many documents influence the U.S. Constitution? Name one. What is the rule of law? What is the economic system of the United States? The words life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness are in what founding document? So basically, the present test, which is 100 questions, they've made the questions much more complicated. And now they've added 28 more questions. So it's 128 questions. And originally, you'd have to get 6 out of 10. Now you have to get 12 questions correct. And they're going to ask you 20 questions out of the 128, and you have to get 12 correct to pass. So we've got a new naturalization test. The old one for people who have filed already, they're going to be given the old test with new tougher questions. And people who file after December 1st are going to be getting the new 128-page test. So this is another little cute one from the Trump administration. And if you look at the questions which are online now, some of us some of us listening here may have had a problem answering those questions. The second thing I want to talk about quickly is the public charge regulations, which we've been talking about. It's the form 944 that most people are going to have to fill out. And I was on a 2-hour program yesterday listening to the questions and how to answer the questions on the 944. I had no idea how really, really complicated it is to answer all the questions on the 944 form. Now, this is in court right now, but until the court makes a final decision, you have to fill out the 944, and you'll be asked, the 944 will be adjudicated at your interview at immigration. But if you didn't put it in, you're going to have to put it in. But basically, I'm just saying that 944 is really complicated. And as I say, I spent 2 hours listening to it from A to Z. The last thing I have, and I'll pass now and we'll come back. I wanted to talk more about the Biden plan and how he's going to change things in terms of immigration. So rather than take up all the time, my next go around, we'll talk about how Biden plans to change the immigration system.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan E.K., we have coined the name the General for him. He is an attorney at the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and Seco, of course, which brings the show each and every single day on 93.5 FM. Also on Facebook and sometimes on Instagram with my colleague here, the case handler himself. We're flipping it over to him. We just did immigration. We'll come back and answer your immigration questions. The attorneys today, Alan E.K., Conrad, Pollack, Nelson Madrid, they're on the immigration side. Do remember to call them now. If you want a free phone consultation with one of the attorneys, just call this number and schedule it. The number to call, if everybody out there wants a free immigration consultation over the phone with an attorney, is 844-774-3529. The most powerful thing you can do after you get that free phone consultation is to actually hire them to handle your situation. Do not by any means do it yourself. And I'm saying that based on everything that's going on. Call the number for the firm, 844-774-3529. Regardless of where you are in the world, immigration is federal for the United States, and this firm handles the cases throughout the United States because it's federal. 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Let's switch to personal injury now with Adam Handler, the case handler, AKA the Shark. Adam.
What's up, buddy? What's up? Listen, I can't stress enough the power of our firm and what we're able to do for those individuals. We spent the better part of the show so far talking about immigrants and what they do, and it is so true. I mean, immigrants, there's a line from the show Hamilton. I don't know if anybody's a Hamilton fan or listens to the music, but there's a great line. Immigrants, we get the job done. I mean, and the whole crowd goes crazy when they sing that part of the song. And it's totally true. And I am blessed to have a practice not only focusing on personal injury, but primarily helping those who have immigrated to the United States. I would venture to say that of the thousands of cases I've worked on in my career, well over $125 million, I would have to imagine that 80 to 90% of those cases involve immigrants or family members of immigrants to the United States. And it's something I'm super proud of. It's the community that's embraced me for years. It's certainly the community that I have embraced back and this firm has embraced back. And that's why, we set out to, give those free phone consultations. So I'm extremely proud that we are representing a portion of this country that really doesn't know where else to turn sometimes. I can only imagine, there's a saying, a stranger in a strange land, that coming to this country, you don't know where to turn. And that's for either religious inspiration or maybe medical issues and certainly legal issues. There are so many predators out there, that think that immigrants are suckers, that they're naive, that, well, what are you going to do about it kind of mentality. I've seen it. And I've seen law firms treat their clients like that. So what are you going to do about it? You're not even legal in this country. What are you going to do about it? You want $1,000 refund? What are you going to do about it? It's disgusting. And that's what sets our firm apart, ladies and gentlemen. Pollack, Isaac, Seco. We are attorneys that do it very, 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 very differently. And, I don't have a specific true life success story that I feel like talking about today. I just wanted to kind of talk about our practice in general and what we do. And for those listening right now on 93.5 FM, thank you so much. Means the world to us. And if you can safely do so now or later, check out the case handler on Facebook. Check out the case handler on Instagram. You'll see our social media campaign, and you'll see, true life success stories. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from Squeeze. Don't take it from the other DJs on 93.5 FM later in the day that have endorsed me for nearly 2 decades. Take it from those people, those immigrants, those fellow members of your church, of your community, of your job that have gotten to terrible accidents, not expecting, obviously, things to happen, but being prepared and fighting back by hiring our firm. And if you can just look at these numbers, Squeeze, read out some of these settlements.
622,500, 25,590,000, 27,500, 83,500, 925,000, $2.5 million, 68,500, 100,000, 25,000 again. This is incredible.
And this is only the top of the, I can keep scrolling. This is only the top of our page, which means these are the recent ones.
Yes.
We're at just under, I'm talking a shade under $20 million for this year, 2020, almost 20 million in 2020. I know by next week, well, next week's a holiday, so things may be a little slow with being able to do what we got to do. But I'm telling you, by the end of this year, we're going to be over 20 million, which is incredible, considering that for all intents and purposes, most of this year, I haven't been able, to get in that nice suit and go to court and try a case. There's no jury trials right now, really, for personal injury cases, only a few. And the fact that we're able to get multi-million-dollar settlements on what seems to be a nearly regular basis is an incredible achievement, and certainly a testament to the dedication of my team and the dedication of the firm at whole, Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, we all have our specific practice groups. I'm personal injury, Conrad, Alan, Nelson, their immigration, Fred, the closer, is transactional and real estate. But we all work together, and our synergy is certainly something that keeps driving us forward. Every department, thank God, is successful. Every department is serving the community, doing the right thing, getting a great result. And I feel like that's, like Squeeze, sometimes there's that forward momentum that just carries you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be in the ocean and wave after wave will just push you to the shore. And there's really nothing you can do to stop it. And that's kind of how I feel about, the way we practice. It's a forward momentum. Our successful results are something that we strive for. We can never guarantee that, but that's what we move towards. And, with their strength in numbers, I'm proud to be part of this firm. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be connected to us, no matter what the reason, immigration, personal injury, take that number, 844-PPID-LAW, 844-PPID-LAW, or just Google us, case handler or Pollack, Isaac, DeSico.
All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and also, of course, immigration. This is the only law firm you will ever need if you are listening to this station. This is the only law firm you will ever need if you are watching us on Facebook and in the tri-state area. They can handle it, a full-service law firm. Now, everyone, I ask of you, store this number. If and when you need an attorney, reach out to them. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844-PPID-LAW. Now, let's flip it back to, of course, immigration. Thank you so much, Mr. Case Handler, AKA the Shark. And I call him the Shark because he will not leave a penny on the table. Not one penny, because you've got one choice, one chance, and he is your case handler. Okay, let's get into some questions here on immigration. This one is for you, Nelson. I just came back to Jamaica from the USA in August 2020 after completing 6 months on the B2 visa. How soon can I travel back to the USA on my B2 visa? I am documentary qualified from F2A.
As we've mentioned several times on the show before, one of the issues is anytime you seek admission into the United States, the way we refer to it is you're knocking at the door, right? Meaning that they don't have to let you in, right? Typically, when you have a case pending, immigration could, I'm not saying they will, but they could interpret that as you're intending to arrive and remain in the United States. Recently, I've seen many people who travel, who come into the United States, stay for an extended period of time, go back, and then come back and stay for an extended period of time. Sometimes immigration can interpret that as you're working or you're doing something else in the United States. And I've seen visas get canceled and get ripped up literally at the airport. It really depends on the officer. Again, it's all discretionary, but it's something immigration can take into account and something immigration can consider before they let you in.
All right. Once again, that's the Maverick. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the one who handles a lot of the deportation cases when you put in removal proceedings. We call him the Maverick because he's excellent at his job. All right. Going 14 years doing immigration and practicing immigration law at the firm, PPID, 844-774-3529. That's his number. Call him directly, 844-774-3529. As a matter of fact, if you want to bypass the free consultation and just hire him, you can do that, 844-774-3529. All right. And let's move to another question here. This one is for Alan. Hi, guys. This morning, I got notice for my biometric appointment for case type I-485. I already had one biometric on the 13th of this month for case type I-131 and I-765. Is it normal for the USCIS to conduct two biometric for the same person? Thanks in advance.
It's not normal, but it would be a good idea to go anyway and just not show up. So yes, is it normal? No. Should you go again? Yes.
Okay. All right. That's Alan, the general, as we call him, on point there answering that question. Once again, the number for the firm, the number for Alan is 844-774-3529. Call, schedule an appointment with him. All right. Let's get to another question. This one is for you, Conrad. I'm a permanent resident, green card IR2, and committed a felony, not proud of it, in California. Most of my family lives in Mexico. I want to go visit them. Would I have a problem crossing back to the US due to my felony?
You're on mute.
You're on mute. You may want to start all over again.
All right. If he has a felony conviction, my question would be, number one, when was it? What was the conviction? And where did it occur? Did it happen before he got his green card, after he got his green card? Has he traveled since that conviction? But the short answer is, you're not leaving the country. If you've got a felony conviction and you leave, when you come back, they will pretty much assuredly find that you have that conviction, and you could be put in removal proceedings. You could be put in jail, depending on the severity of that crime. So that's a serious issue. That's something, this is not the place to be asking that question. That question needs to be asked to a lawyer directly in our office, and we need to see the criminal disposition, and then we can advise you properly. That is a potentially serious matter.
Just to jump in right quick.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a felony. I mean, if it's a serious misdemeanor, you'd have the same issue. Right. I'm sorry, Nelson. Go ahead.
That's exactly what I was going to say. There's a big misconception, a misdemeanor, a felony. We need a lot more information. As Conrad just said, a misdemeanor could be a permanent bar, could be considered an aggravated felony. So as Conrad said, we would need a lot more information.
Okay. Once again, ladies and gentlemen,
that's a potentially very serious issue. All right. Nelson and Alan, how many times have we seen guys that didn't talk to us before they left the country, and when they came back in, they got stopped at the airport, and we're getting a call from a relative because they're locked up somewhere, right? Because they were arrested, and it's understandable. Hey, I had one criminal issue in my life back in 1979. All right, it was a drug conviction.
Well, we're getting to the top of the hour. Let's just give out the number, and then we'll flip over.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Cruisin with a Case Handler, brought to you by PPID. The number is 844-774-3529. We'll continue.
It's 10 o'clock.
Just missed it.
All right, well, as I was saying, with regard to a criminal matter, a lot of people think, it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I've been behaving myself since. I'm a tax-paying, working man, family, and I had this drug conviction back in 1979. You leave the country. When you come back, you're going to have a problem, so it doesn't matter when it happened. What matters more is what happened and what were the results, what's your status, where'd you go, Yeah, there are a lot of issues, so we need a lot more information in dealing with a situation like that.
And if you didn't have a problem when you were coming in and out and in and out and in and out, this time it may hit you in the face.
And a lot of times also, well, I've been traveling for years,
Yes.
but I haven't left recently, but I've been traveling for years and never had a problem. Well, one day, especially these days, the way things have changed in the last 10, 20 years on this issue, especially in the last 4 years, you will have an issue when you come back in if it was a serious crime. So you really need to talk to a lawyer about that. Do not leave the country.
I want to jump in, actually. I was on a phone call last night about 8:30 p.m. speaking with one of our clients. The client has an open warrant for a DWI and has a removal order. Okay. So, of course, I told the client, my recommendation would be before you proceed with immigration, get that warrant fixed. So now the client is scared and saying, well, what happens if ICE arrests me? What happens if I'm, put through the system, right? It's a risk you have to take. Why? If you get stopped for driving a car as a passenger in a car, you're in a store at the wrong time, at the wrong place, on the wrong day, and a police officer asks you for identification, and they see a warrant, an open warrant, you are going in, okay? Once you are in, it's ultimately up to the officer on whether or not he wants to get immigration involved. If immigration is involved, I can assure you, one of the few things I can assure you of, immigration, if they step in and detain you, they are not letting you go. Johnny Cochran can come back from the grave and he will not be able to help you. Why? You were ordered removed 10 years ago. You've had 10 years to fix your status. You've done nothing. And now you're asking to be released because you want to try to fix your status. They're not very sympathetic to these type of cases, and I just wanted to mention that because, again, a lot of people are scared. As I explained to the client, the reality of it is you've got 2 open warrants. You can get picked up right now as soon as we hang up the phone. They can go tomorrow. They can go the day after. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you're making a bad situation worse. So, for those people who have an open warrant and are interested in legalizing your status, again, my advice is always to take care of that sooner. Once immigration gets involved, they are not letting you go.
And we should, when we come back on Monday, Nelson, I would love for you to spend at least 10 minutes speaking to people who have open warrants. Because I know that there are many people out there with open warrants for a small situation, small this, small that, some people doing bail jumping and all of that stuff. Let's talk more on Monday about that. It's extremely important
And
we address that.
And just, speaking of bail jumping, okay, just so you know, if the underlying charge was a felony and you bail jumped, that now becomes an aggravated felony for immigration purposes, which disqualifies you from many forms of relief. So again, there are consequences, and a lot of people don't understand, and a lot of people get bad advice, but again, I think it's very important to speak with a competent, a well-informed attorney.
Okay, well said, well put. And gentlemen, please remind me on Monday. I just set myself a note on my calendar to talk about that. It's very, very, very important for us to talk about that. Once again, this is Cruisin with a case handler. We have only 15 shares so far, people, and I need more than 15 shares. I need 50 shares today. Denise Joseph, thank you so much for tuning in. Linda, everybody, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's we got one more question here. I want to say thanks to Tracy Spence on the marketing team. All right, this one, you guys, I'll let this one's up in the air. I think we can get through this one quickly. My green card will be expired in the next 3 months. I am planning on applying for the N400 for citizenship. Question, do I need to renew the green card again, Form I-90, before the N400?
Not necessarily, but you might want to do it if you want to travel in the meantime. And if you're going to file the N400, you don't plan to go anyplace, you should be okay. But if something comes up and you have to leave, you might decide, let me renew the green card now, or at least get it filed and get a receipt before you file for citizenship. The receipt could help you in the future for the blue card.
All right. This hereby concludes the show, Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. You have heard from the attorneys, the General, Alan E. Kay. You have heard from Nelson Madrid, the Maverick. You have heard from Conrad Pollack, the Maestro. And of course, the Case Handler, the Shark, I call him, Adam Handler. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us, gentlemen. Thank you again. And have yourself an amazing weekend as we approach Biden taking over the administration. All right. Peace out, everybody. And remember, call 844-774-3529. You're watching us on Facebook, dial that number, store that number, 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome. This has been an attorney advertisement brought to you by the law firm of Pollack, Isaac, and Seco. And of course, they have a proven track record for just about 60 years, if not more. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have yourself an amazing weekend.